Hey guys, it's Daniel's son here at the Wizard Shop. So right here I got a 2012 Dodge Charger. So the reason I'm working on this today is this car has a check engine light and the car has already been diagnosed. It was diagnosed with a bad thermostat. Am I gonna take that, I'm just gonna go in there and replace the thermostat? No, I'm gonna take a look at it just to make sure, scan the code, take a look around the car, underneath, no leaks or whatever. So, cause you never know, right? So, we're gonna do a quick walk around the car. I'm gonna put it on the lift. Obviously, I'm gonna scan it. I already drove the car. There are some squeaks and rattles that I want to take a look at just to make sure the car's safe. Now, this is a family car. I will not show you the interior because there's pictures and private stuff that you guys really don't need to see. So I'll exclude that from this video. But let's see what we can find on this, and yeah, let's see if we can help her out. Okay, so we're gonna start here at scanning the car since I already test drove it first to check for leaks and rattles and see how it's behaving, right? So, okay, so usually when I scan cars, I like to do an auto scan. It'll scan every module in the car just in case, somebody else missed something, didn't quote it, or they just didn't really deem it a problem, but you never know, right? So we'll take a look at that. So now we can see there's a bunch of faults, right? Some of these could be just from like maybe unhooking the battery because this car just had his airbag replaced under warranty, right? So we're just gonna do a report and see what the individual faults actually are. Okay, so let's start here at the report here. So let's see. So right here we start at the P0128 stored. It's thermostat rationality. Okay, so now we see there's other codes here. We got a left side deployment squib circuit open. That is for the airbag. So this car just had the airbag replaced. So I'm gonna take a look at that fault real quick just to make sure there's no problems there. It could be from maybe unhooking the battery. Sometimes it sets some weird faults, but that's not always. So we'll see. And then, tire pressure sensors, component internal failure. It seems like they might be going, the battery might be dying. This is a 2012. We're approaching 2023. So that's about 10 years. That's the life of those TPMS typically. BCM, we got a humidity sensor module. That fault seems to be active. Then we got these other ones seem to be like invalid data. That's usually battery faults and stuff like that from disconnecting the battery. So in this case, I'm just gonna look closer. Some of them I'm just gonna clear them out and see if they come back. And then that's pretty much it. I will also be testing functionality of all these components. So yeah, let's put the car on the lift and let's look underneath. Okay, so I finished scanning the vehicle. I did ended up just clearing all the faults. The one fault that stayed active was that humidity sensor. We're gonna check that one later, but let's focus on that thermostat rationality. I took a look at the freeze frame data a little bit. There wasn't really too much that I really needed to see. So first, we're gonna look underneath for any leaks or anything like that. I'll check the wheels. I already got it around the lift ready. I did the shake test. So let's see what's underneath. And then we're also gonna check under the hood, the fluids and stuff like that, especially the coolant reservoir, which, I think might be low, but we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna start here at the back of the vehicle. So we're gonna take a look at all the suspension components, which just to take a visual, just to do a visual inspection here. I already checked them, moved the tires up and down, side to side, check for any bearing noise or whatever. And then I also actually checked the threads for nails. I found a small one, but it didn't go all the way through. I checked it with some water and on this tire, and then all the other ones look great. So, doesn't look like we have a leak from the differential, and doesn't look like we have any torn boots. So we're looking pretty good. Now the brakes in the back are, I would say, less than half life. So these, they can probably go a few more miles. I know that she drives very slowly, so it's not really a big concern right now. The exhaust looks great. Drive shaft looks great. Again, this car typically gets looked at pretty often. I believe she had at the dealership for an inspection not too long ago. And, they told her the car has a couple problems. So now we're kind of taking a look at those just to see if we can help her out. Front the front, which where the noise is coming from the most. I think it might be just sway bar links or maybe sway bar bushings. I think they just might be worn out. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'll be checking that and testing that here in a minute. And then we're gonna take this undersheet off real quick and take a look underneath to see if there's any oil leaks or coolant leaks, which from what I can see so far looks pretty good. Okay, so I got that cover off just to take a look underneath the engine here. So looks pretty dry. Yeah, looks pretty good so far. I'm gonna get a flashlight, look in there a little deeper to see if it's actually leaking as bad as the inspection said from the time that she went a few months ago. There is some seepage, but it's not like leaking, dripping, or anything, so I think they might have just tried to squeeze out some work here. But other than that, yeah, looking good. So we're gonna bring her down and take a look up top for fluids and also that leak in the timing cover. We're here underneath the hood now. So the car has gotten a chance to cool down, so I'm able to check the coolant level. And then we're also gonna be checking fluids, right? I'm gonna check the oil, I'm gonna check the brake fluid, I'm gonna check just the brake fluid, something that, you know, a lot of people don't replace, but you should. And then we are also gonna top off the washer fluid. And this car, I believe, does not have power steering fluid because it has an electrical rack. So we're gonna skip that one. And then, I don't know if I mentioned the air filter, we're gonna check that out too. But we're gonna start here with the coolant level because I can already see it's low. So now the car has cooled down, I'm able to open it. So shining a light in here, I can already see that the coolant level is way, way low. So it looks like nobody has really looked at it for a while. It could be that, you know, we didn't see any leaks underneath when we were doing our inspection underneath, and the coolant level is low, so we got a problem. So I'm thinking is that the water is a 50-50 mix. So I'm thinking the water has evaporated throughout the years and nobody has really checked it. So in this case, since we're dealing with a thermostat, we're probably gonna look up more information just to confirm. Possibly I'll probably just drive the car, you know, top off the coolant level, drive the car a little bit, or maybe just kind of skip the thermostat for now and then maybe tackle it next week. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna end up deciding here, okay? So I'm just gonna do a quick check and then we'll look up some information and then maybe just go get the part depending on what they say. Okay, so upon inspection, the oil seems to be about half-life. Not really a big deal because it's been tracked by the car's maintenance reminder. So I'm not too worried about that. Usually I like to replace them 6,000 miles for full synthetic and then 3,000 miles for regular, right? That's just the way that I like doing things. Now, the air filter is not bad at all, right? I took it off. You can see right through it, no problem. There's not a lot of dust in it. It's okay. I'm not gonna replace it right now. The brake fluid is the worst. So it's very low because the pads are low, and it's very dark because it hasn't been replaced probably, I would say, since the car was brand new. So that's something that I'm gonna be addressing, if not in this video, maybe in a future video or off camera, not sure. Okay, so I read information on the fault, and it looks like the common repair is just a thermostat. So I decided just to go forward and replace the thermostat. Actually, the parts were pretty cheap. So I got some OEM coolant and a brand new thermostat. It looks like it's fairly easy to get to, and it should be a quick repair, and it should just take care of that check engine light going forward. And then also, I believe that coolant's old, so I'm gonna replace that as well. You know, that'll also help out for any, you know, future problems. Okay, so I got here the thermostat's already been replaced. I already torqued it to spec. And now we just gotta fill it up with coolant and then, you know, put the cover back on and the intake back on, and we are pretty much done. Okay, so as you can see, the car behind me is not the car that we were working on. Luckily for me, it's still a Charger, you know, close enough, I guess. So I lost the footage. In the process of a backup, unfortunately. So now I have to film a new ending to the video and to be able to post it. But yeah, I want to tell you guys that the car's doing great. We replaced the thermostat, we checked for leaks, it's not overheating, we checked all the levels and stuff like that. And then for that one module, that other fault that we had, the sensor is a little bit too expensive for the owner to afford right now, so we're gonna skip that one. In reality, it doesn't really affect that much. Now there is more work that the car needs, and we're probably just gonna do that maybe in future videos depending on how this content does. If not, I'll do it off camera, not really a big deal. But again, I really appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe and definitely like the video, and definitely if you guys can follow me on Twitter, that'd be great. I'm gonna be posting updates there, maybe even updates of that one car. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching.